My name is Ricky Dios, aka Ricky Nuts. I do vocals for Maldito Dios.
My name is Hector Mesa. I play in Maldito Dios, Barbarian, and I run True Fury Audio here in El Paso, Texas.
Used to play in another band. Name is redacted. Very short period of time, probably just a few months.
I currently play in Barbarian as well. I play guitar. I used to play bass, but yeah, Maldito Dios actually helped me switch over to guitar. So yeah, so there you go.
So me and our drummer Max had been wanting to start a band and we were having trouble finding members. So one night when I was supposed to go with Barbarian to McAllen, the show got canceled last minute due to weather conditions, and we ended up just going to a bar, and me and Hector, our lead guitarist, got kind of drunk, and he told us he would help us write, and once the songs were written, it would be easier for us to find members.
So the way the band started, I think I need to go into a little backstory about how me and Ricky met. I bumped into Ricky at the gym one time, maybe. I think this was 2022, I believe. And I remember him as the overall guy. And I was like, hey, look, that's that kid. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, what's up? Introduced myself. And he knew who I was because of Barbarian. And we kept seeing each other at the gym. And, you know, he kept showing up to shows. And Thomas had invited him to one of our shows in Austin to come with us. So Barbarian played with Integrity. And I saw Ricky get knocked out. And he kept getting into the pit. And I was like, damn, this kid is like, yeah, he's a real one. So, you know, yeah, I mean, we kept inviting him to shows, and we were going to have an out-of-town show in McAllen. And unfortunately, that show dropped. So then me and Ricky decided to go to a bar, and we were just, you know, talking. And he told me he really wanted to be in a band. And, you know, hearing him talk, hearing his passion, like, you know, I told him, like, hey, dude, like, come to the studio. I'll write a song for you. And he told me that Max wanted to play drums for his idea. So I told him, hey, you and Max come to the studio. And we wrote New Gods. New Gods was the first song. So then after that, like, I was not originally part of the band. I just helped him write. But, you know, seeing how Ricky, you know, like, wanted to do this, you know, kind of like, you know, lit that fire in me, like, damn, I want to be part of this as well, you know? So yeah, I'm part of the band now. So, and you'll hear my sound in that band.
And truthfully, I don't even know how to describe our sound to people inside the scene. Usually for people outside the scene who are unfamiliar with hardcore, I just tell them hardcore is a mix of punk and metal, more leaning towards the metal side for us. Specifically kind of maybe new metal at times.
For someone who doesn't listen to hardcore, I would maybe describe us, you know, biggest band would be Pantera. I feel like they have that Texas sound, and a lot of hardcore bands in Texas have that sound incorporated to them. So I'd say Pantera.
Honestly, that one kind of just came to me randomly. Had a few song names or just kind of names that I threw out to Max one day. Some of them we actually ended up using for song titles, and Maldito Dios just ended up being the one that stuck. Is something that had our Mexican roots as well as, you know, something that sounded hard.
I don't really want to say, but I kind of know why it's called Maldito Dios. Let's just say it's one of Ricky's favorite bands. It's a tribute to one of Ricky's favorite bands.
That one has kind of been a bit different for songs, just depending. Most of the time, Hector will throw me out a riff, and There's been a few songs where I write right there on the spot where we're in the songwriting process. There's been other times where I have, just lyrical ideas written down. I take a lot from personal experiences and personal feelings, and I just try to fit it into wherever the riffs work.
Inspiration for this band is definitely all the tragedies that are going around the world. We really want to capture that in our music and, have a message. As far as influences go for me, I would say Foundation. Foundation is a big one because not necessarily the way they sound, but the way they use their dissonant chords and their dissonant notes on their music. I like to incorporate that, and you'll hear it in our songs. The second one would be 90s New York hardcore, for sure. Any 90s New York hardcore, you'll probably hear a bit in our music. And the third one would be Bitter End. They have that Texas sound that I want to sound like as well. So yeah, Bitter End.
I'd say just kind of interpret it the way you want to. I write lyrics not even fully knowing what they mean. Sometimes they're just words that come to me, feelings that come to me, and a lot of people, might interpret it different ways. Just kind of find something in there that you like, and if you relate to it, good.
So I would want people to actually listen to what the lyrics say. They actually have meaning. It's not just yelling and screaming. These lyrics actually have a meaning, and I really want people to hear what Ricky is saying, what message is saying, especially with everything that's going on around the world. It's a very dark time, and this is a way to express the frustrations that are happening and all the injustices that are happening around the world. Perfect.
Honestly, being an adult, we've got 6 members, so having 6 grown-ass dudes who, most of us work full-time jobs, it's kind of hard getting each other on the same page. People have personal lives. Hardcore doesn't pay the bills, so put your family first, and I'd never expect them to do otherwise. I'd never do otherwise myself. So yeah, definitely just everyone being just grown as adults. It's kind of the toughest part.
The most difficult part about being in the band for me would be my schedule. I'm a full-time producer now, so it's hard to juggle 2 bands, and mixing, mastering, and recording all that stuff is a little hard, but it keeps me busy. It keeps me involved in music, so no complaints there.
Not necessarily wild because I mean it's normal for us, but we've had a few fights during our sets. We had a pretty crazy fight happen during our set last night. There's been crazy things that have happened, at our shows. Craziest one was probably Max getting stuck in the elevator for half an hour when we played Pomona. Right after we finished playing, but during our sets, probably just some fights.
Wildest thing, I don't think I've ever seen anything crazy for MD. I haven't been there for the show, for the things that Ricky has said. So yeah, nothing besides the usual fight.
Well, first off, I mean, there's 2 bands that I always credit that if I would have never seen them or known them, I would have never started a band myself. And number one is Barbarian, and the other one is Saberwolf. Saberwolf was my first ever local show, so um, always love for those guys. There's a lot of up and coming young bands that they don't play hardcore, but they go to shows, they go crazy. Atrocious, the Seduce and Destroy kids are cool too. Blushed. Um, Blush is probably one of the most amazing bands in El Paso, probably all of Texas right now. But yeah, I usually try to give credit to the younger kids.
I would recommend Saberwolf, predecessor, Blushed, and honestly, everyone I've worked with. everyone is unique in their own ways. They're not all hardcore bands, but they're all really unique and they all bring their own little thing. And which is great because we don't sound, no one in El Paso sounds the same. So if you have a chance, check out all the bands I've worked with. True Fury Audio on Instagram. You can find everything in there. Yeah, just look them up. Everyone sounds different. Everyone's great, and you'll hear what we're about.
Yeah, so main advice is just to start. Don't wait until you feel like you're good at whatever you're doing. The good will come with the experience. There's days where we still feel like we suck or we had a shitty set, but there's other days where we're just on, and those days come with experience. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But the most important thing is to support your local music, go to shows, show face, talk to people.
My advice for anyone that wants to start a band would be just to show up to shows. Just keep going, keep showing up, talk to people, be respectful, be friendly, support of the bands. If you want your band support of the bands. It's a two-way thing here in El Paso, so just be cool, keep showing up, and people will fuck with you too.
So we're about to drop our EP, Say a Prayer, 7 songs that we've been working on for the past 2 years. We dropped our first music in November of 2023. It's November of 2025 now. So, we've worked on this music for a long time. Next, we really want to get more out there. We want to play more out of town shows, write more music. And I feel like the music that we've written has progressed, it's matured. So we want to get more of that kind of structured music sound and not just like we're throwing stuff together.
We're gonna drop an EP this Friday, November 21st. And after that, I want to say we're gonna take a little break, but in that little break, I will be writing. Hopefully, for a split or singles, something like that. But I really, really want to go play shows in Mexico. We really pride ourselves in being multicultural, so we really, really want to expand to Mexico. So hopefully that is in the future. And that's what I really, really want to do.
First off, shout out to the crew, GAMC. Shout out to True Fury Audio. Shout out to Iron Jaw Media, Miklan Media. Um, Shout out to everything local. Support your local restaurants, your local businesses. El Paso's got some really amazing stuff. Get out there, see El Paso. There's a lot here if you really look into it.
I want to shout out every band that I've worked with. They've given me like an opportunity to actually handle their music, help them express their lyrics. I want to thank them. I want to thank Paola. I don't think I'd be here in this studio without her. And the last one would be my family. We've been through a hard year. So I want to, shout my mom out, Ruben, Julie Mouse.